Victoria. That's his first game with St Kilda.
Peter Daicos was born in 1961 to Phyllis and Stan Daicos, who had arrived in Australia from Macedonia in the 50s. At that stage of his life, his parents could never have dreamt that their young son, who started kicking a ball around the Fitzroy Primary School, would one day go on and become one of the most skilled and loved players to play in the Australian Football League.
His shots.
Then elects to kick it to the half-forward line. Daicos and Eppelston. Clever mark by Daicos with the one hand. Onto the left foot. Francis. To the goal square. Christian. Daicos loves these and he kicks it. It's an avalanche. Good block by Harding. Daicos, always dangerous. Snapshot is brilliant for a goal. Turner to Daicos, beautifully picked up. He puts it on the ground. Terrific skill shown by Daicos.
Like many stars of the past with European origins, Daicos' family knew far more about soccer until one day when his father Stan went to see the South Melbourne Hellas team play and heard the roar of the crowd at the Lake Oval and finished the day watching South Melbourne Football Club, the Australian rules team.
Snapshot looks good. First goal of the match.
We went to a football game and in the end, you know, continuously went to football, but soccer's never been a question in our family, never come up, whether it be, you know, for soccer or football. Football's always been number one.
And it was the Lake Oval where you got a bit of a love for the game too, wasn't it?
Well, it certainly was. Ed, we were there every week. We even went out to Geelong, which we used to look at as a bit of a hike for us, but we got out to every game. There was never a Saturday we'd miss. I'd finish my local games with Preston RSL, and you know, we'd be all in the car, my younger brother, dad and uncle, and straight to the footy.
It seems so long ago now that one of Collingwood's most famous sons actually hated the black and white as a kid. But even early on, his mother Phyllis remembers her son could not get enough of the game.
He used to kick all day and night, all the toilet paper, his socks, and everything. I used to say, shame yourself, Peter, you never stop. Always you jump, you make trouble. Mom, leave him alone.
Not even after joining Collingwood did Peter's love of the red and white diminish, according to his father Stan.
When you finish the seconds, I'd get in the car, go to South Melbourne or Essendon, wherever South Melbourne was playing. We used to go there and watch it. How are you going to kill us?
Eventually, in 1977, Peter Daicos had caught the eye of recruiting staff for his play for the Preston RSL side, and he was invited down to Victoria Park. But even then, Daicos was a reluctant magpie.
I was recruited to Collingwood. I was asked down at the start of '77, and I sort of declined. Like a lot of young kids playing with your junior club, you've got your mates, and you probably don't want to lose that more than anything. That's possibly why a lot of other footballers, you know, haven't made the grade, because, you know, sticking with mates, I suppose. But I was asked down in '77. I didn't go down until one of my other mates was asked down later in the year. We came down halfway through the year. We were still playing with the under-16, our under-16 competition with Preston RSL, and I came down only because a mate had come down. It was never, I never ever thought I was good enough to make it, but what the hell, it was something to brag about, I suppose, being invited down to Collingwood. But we got down here, and by the end of the year, our clearance had come through, and we played the last 6 games of the year.
It must have been a very heady period for you as a young kid coming down here and seeing such great names that were playing around that time, and playing with such big name players, having seen them play as a kid.
Oh, certainly. I actually, because I lived in Fitzroy and we, you know, weren't far away, I used to come down training now and then, and the place has changed a lot. You know, even in the room we're in now, which is adjacent to the offices, it used to be a lot bigger. They used to have a couple of pool tables in there. I remember coming in here and watching the players, you know, playing pool before practice and things like that. And I mean, it was all a dream. You know, a lot of the heroes back then, you know, you had Peter McKenna, Len Thompson, you know, Shorey. You know, you had all the big names of football, which even though I was I couldn't identify with them because I was still a South Melbourne supporter, you know, they were pretty much football heroes to me.
But Collingwood had seen enough, and while young Daicos was keeping his head down, the good judges knew they had a live one. Former Collingwood champion and reserves and under-19 coach Ron Richards went on to be chairman of selectors for the victorious Collingwood 1990 premiership side. And no wonder, for he, more than anyone at the club at that time, saw what the youngster from Preston possessed.
I'd have to say Ronnie Richards really helped me out in my early years. It's hard when you come down to a club such as Collingwood because there's so many guys that come down to Collingwood. I mean, it is a premier club in a sense of, you know, having the support and, you know, membership and all that. And, you know, everyone aspires, I think, to play with a league club, no doubt, and especially play with a club such as Collingwood. And when I first come down, when I started to progress and play well in the under-19s and did come up, Ronnie Richards, you know, was the one that took me under wing, and I suppose I had a foot in the door there because when the coach of the reserve side takes you under his wing, you sort of, you're halfway home, I suppose, because as I said, it's hard enough for a lot of players to come in not being known. There's possibly 60, 70 players down here training and players coming through, so a lot of kids don't get noticed as much, and I was probably fortunate. Ronnie took me under his wing and really pushed for me, and actually even set up for me to win one of the awards when I did eventually play a senior game. It was through his famous brother Lou, and I ended up winning the award on World of Sport. It was only because Ronnie had teed it up with Louis, so you know, he helped me tremendously, and he was always there, you know, with you know, encouragement and to push me along, and when things got a little bit hard, he was always there.
So with Ron Richards on side at the club and Lou Richards on side in the media, there was not much else to do for Daicos than to go out and live up to their expectations.
Second game from the year, lovely pass to Taylor. What a gem! As he kicks it up to Daicos. Daicos against Tom Alvin. Daicos onto the left foot. Is this a miraculous goal? A brilliant effort by Daicos. Goal number 7. He goes in towards full forward. Hocking at the back to affect the spoil. Waiting down. Daicos. Goal!
Anderson. Quick one over the shoulder, and Daicos a screamer from behind.
The courage shown there. Starcevich to Daicos. Daicos kicks and goals.
They don't. Collingwood make it a goal. Daicos. Daicos is the first goal of the match. Kick by Gaper. Nearly marked there by Starcevich. Picked up by Daicos and dropped through its goal. Peter Daicos believes his family's influence and the hard-working example set by his parents stood him in good stead at this point of his career.
Family keep a low key, you know, with the whole thing. You know, they don't sort of go around. Dad's pretty quiet, you know, he'd be sitting in boxes, and only now people around him are starting to know through other people that he's my father, people in the box, because he says nothing. BT used to be his hero, and Gavin Brown and Darren Mullane, so, you know, I mean, he sort of, I say to a lot of people, what's he like when, you know, if I kick a goal, whatever, and they say, does nothing. He might have a smile or, you know, but he doesn't really say a lot, and that's the way I've been brought up, and I don't really like it in people. You know, I like the low-key approach, and, you know, I would never be that way myself, so it was great. I mean, I think things like that, no doubt the family's wrapped and you keep within the family, but I was never one to sort of be wearing my Collingwood jumper out in the streets or running with it, or, you know, going to a disco with me blazer or something.
But football, as legendary Hawthorn and St Kilda coach Alan Jean says, has more downs than ups, and Daicos was soon to find out the low side of the game. Injury struck, first with a string of knee injuries, the worst resulting in a knee reconstruction, then another, a mystery foot problem that, unlike many of his opponents, looked set to put him out of the game.
I was pretty devastated. I'd had other knee operations, and